Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday. It is the 29th day of March 2023. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. And I hope your family is also safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are saving lives. And those also that pick up garbage and trash for us to keep streets and sidewalks and parks buildings clean and disease free. Those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women who are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover. The teenagers and the children who are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of human trafficking and sex slavery. The victims, people that are the victims of pornography and child pornography. The victims of prostitution and child prostitution. Double curses. Double curses on all the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on all the profiteers of these things. And double curses on the perverts that create this heinous industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's a basketball game scheduled tonight at 7:30. The New York Knicks are hosting the Miami Heat at Madison Square Garden. Last night, the Knicks got a little help. Miami Heat lost to Toronto Raptors last night, 102 to 96. Yeah, no, 106 to 92. They lost to the Toronto Raptors. I watched the game. It was a really good game. Miami tried to make a run. Basically, they were playing without Jimmy Butler. They rested him. He's day to day with a sprained neck. And the Heat were losing most of the game. They made a run at the end of the third going into the fourth quarter, but could not close the gap. It was a tremendous defensive game, as you're going to see more and more of as we're getting now into the stretch run. All of the teams that are vying for playoff position, you're going to see much more griminess, much more toughness, lower scoring. At this point, physical basketball starts to win. This is where you get your chip. You get stops on defense. You rebound. You attack the rim. Then you might get a surprise player that's able to shoot among all of that. But this is where it gets grimy right now. So the Knicks right now at 43 and 33 are 3 full games ahead of the 7th seed Miami, and they are 2.5 games ahead of Brooklyn. Now tonight, Brooklyn is playing at home against Houston. I'm expecting a Brooklyn win there. So the Knicks need to win against Miami to keep the 2.5 game lead on Brooklyn. Do have a cushion, but it's good. There's only right now for the Knicks, there's only 6 games left in the season. So it's getting close. If the Knicks get to 46 wins, then it's clinched. They're going to be no lower than the 6th seed. Once they get to 46 wins, it's no longer lower than the 6th seed. Because right now for Brooklyn, right now they got 7 games left, and for Miami they got 6 games left. It's unlikely that either of those teams run the table, to break out and run the table. It's more likely they'll win some, lose some. So the Knicks, in my view, they get the 46 wins, it's cinched. So right now they have 43. They need to beat Miami tonight. Period. End of story. They got to beat Miami at the Garden. Jimmy Butler, they probably rested him so that he could play tonight because he didn't play last night. It's a back-to-back for Miami. He didn't play last night against Toronto. It's a back-to-back. They're coming into the Garden. The Garden alone, playing at Madison Square Garden, for all the teams that are visiting Madison Square Garden, it's a hype, because it's the Garden. It's the Mecca. It's where everybody wants to play basketball. So as far as, even visitors, most people would rather visit than play there full time. But that's another story. But they get hyped. There's a chance for them to get right, a chance for them to get on the street. A lot of teams have come to the Garden and done that. So, and Miami is desperate right now. Like I said, they lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're going to want to win tonight. And then, of course, they want to keep pace. They're trying to get into the 6th seed. Right now, they are half a game away from the Nets in the 6th seed. Half a game away. So they're trying to get in the 6th seed. Everybody wants to avoid the play-in right now. The Knicks are in the strongest position of the 3 teams. They control their own destiny. If they even go, like I said, 3-3 down the stretch, they'll be in the top 6. I'm thinking they could do that at least, maybe go 4-2, depending. Some teams are not going to be playing their regular roster. Like I expect that Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland is going after that 50 burger. So they got 48 wins. But after they get 50 wins, they really right now they're 4.5 games above the 5th seed. They're 2 games behind Philadelphia. They might just settle in at the 4th seed once they get to 50 wins. They really could start doing it now, but once they get to 50 wins, certainly they can settle in at the 4th seed and just take that and know they're playing whoever the 5th seed is with a home court advantage in the first round of playoffs. So it looks like that, and I wouldn't want to, they might not want to be taking risks with their star players at this time. So I guess what I'm saying is the Knicks are going to have more to play for than Cleveland on Friday night in Cleveland. Can't take them lightly. It's going to be intense. Like I said, they'll be chasing that 50 spot. The Knicks are not chasing 50 wins, but we are trying to solidify that 5th seed. So right now, we need a win against Miami, period. Like I mentioned, we got to beat them. Tonight, the Knicks are listing Jalen Brunson as questionable tonight. Is he day-to-day? Let me just Jimmy Butler's day-to-day. But, yeah, they're listing Jalen Brunson as questionable against the Heat. And I don't think it has anything to do with the injury being worse than we think. I think it has more to do with resting him because Quickly is playing at such a high level. Okay, so Emmanuel Quickly is playing at such a high level, then you could really rest Jalen Brunson and save him, as long as you can until the playoffs come. Come playoff time, playoff Brunson is a bad man. So you want that, right? So let's make sure that he's healthy for the playoff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sat him, started Quickly, bring Deuce into the rotation, tighten up that defense. You're going to need that against the Heat because of Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is a tremendous offensive player coming out of Kentucky. They had Duncan Robinson, and he's still a good shooter, but he's not Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is really coming to his own. And then, of course, Max Strus can shoot 3 as well. And then Gabe Vincent is a long-time Knick killer. So I don't know why, but against the Knicks, this dude act like he's an all-star. So we're going to need, my point is we're going to need some perimeter defense. You add Deuce to the mix along with Grimes. And then, of course, you got Mitchell Robinson. That gives us the trio that we need, along with Josh Hart, of course, to put the best defensive front that we can against the Heat. So going to be a tough game tonight. We can't take any game for granted today. But we could put some distance between us and the Heat by winning this game tonight. Win this game tonight, and the Knicks have 4 full-game lead on the Heat. Okay, so very important game. Again, the Knicks control their own destiny. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Quickly started today. Why not? Like I said, he just dropped 40 the other night. He's rolling. He's playing at a tremendous pace right now. He's in a great groove right before the playoffs. And so you could rest Brunson. So like I said, it's playoff Brunson. That's the reason for all this. The reason that I feel like, I was not with the Brunson signing, but the reason that convinced me was playoff Brunson. And so we're going to get playoff Brunson. Playoff Brunson is built for the playoffs. So with that in mind, again, I wouldn't mind if they rested him and then we move forward with Brunson either on Friday against Cleveland or depending on how he feels. We also have a game Sunday. I think that game is against Washington. I believe the Knicks play Cleveland Friday, and I think they play Washington Sunday. Yes, they play Washington Sunday, and they play Cleveland Friday. They're at the Garden against Washington. They're going to be in Cleveland on Friday night, which I'm glad. No Friday night Knicks at the Garden at this time, please. So this is good. Let's do this. Again, they can control their own destiny right now. The Knicks are going to be ready. They're going to be playing good ball. That defense is going to be turned up, especially if Brunson sits today. I think we're in good shape, y'all. So we'll see the game. We'll talk later. Shalom.